Caught my fiancée in bed with my adoptive brother the night before our wedding. She said, "You were never the man I wanted to marry." He was. I left and built a new life. 5 years later, days before my new wedding, they all tried to come back. Hey, Reddit! 5 years ago, I walked in on my fiancé and my adopted brother and decided I was done with all of them. I rebuilt my life, my business, everything. But just when I thought the past was dead, it came knocking again. Before I get into the madness, let me start at the beginning. The burner number popped up at 9:45 on a Wednesday night, 2 weeks before my wedding. I was at my desk in the back office of my warehouse, finishing purchase orders for a hotel chain contract in Seattle, when my phone buzzed on the metal desk. Unknown number, Portland area code. Didn't recognize it. Normal people don't use unknown numbers anymore. Scammers do, robocall operation, debt collectors, and people who know you block them everywhere else. The message loaded slowly, like my phone was trying to warn me. "Ryan, it's me. I saw your engagement announcement in the business magazine. We need to talk before you make another mistake. Please, this is important." The office felt too small all of a sudden. I read it again to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I knew exactly who me was before I finished the first read. Monica. Haven't heard from this woman in 5 years. Not one word. Not a call. Not an email. Not a message through mutual friends. Not even a LinkedIn connection request. Complete radio silence. And there's a damn good reason for that. I screenshotted the message automatically. Didn't even think about it. Just muscle memory from years of dealing with people who won't take no for an answer and people who claim they never said things. Evidence matters. Always. Then I walked out to the warehouse and found my soon-to-be wife Claire in the cupping lab. She was evaluating coffee samples, tasting spoon in hand. She looked up, saw my face, and set down her spoon. "What happened?" I handed her my phone. Claire read the message twice. Didn't react emotionally, just analytical. That's what I love about her. She's a civil litigation attorney. Everything's evidence and strategy with her. "Burner number," she said, which means she knows you blocked her, and she knows your engagement went public because of that business journal profile last week. I nodded. Pacific Northwest Business Magazine had run a profile on Northwest Coffee Systems, mentioned my engagement to Claire, included a photo of us at a charity event. Monica must have seen it and spiraled. "You want to respond?" Claire asked, handing the phone back to me. "No," I said. "Absolutely not. But she's not going to stop with one message. She won't stop there." "Probably not," Claire agreed. She pulled out her phone, started typing. "Screenshot everything. If she escalates, we'll need documentation for a restraining order." "You owe her nothing," Claire said. "Not an explanation, not closure, not a conversation. You control this, not her. Understood?" I kissed her forehead. Understood. We went back to work. I wrapped up purchase orders and drove home, but I kept checking my phone. That message sat heavy in my chest. Sure enough, 2 hours later, another message. "I know you saw this. I know you read it. I deserve a chance to explain what really happened. 5 years is a long time. People change. I've changed. Please give me a chance to make this right before you make another commitment." I sent it to Claire. She replied, "She's building toward a bigger ask. Keep ignoring her. Let her show her full hand." That night, I barely slept. Not because I was conflicted. Monica and I were finished the moment I walked in on her with my adopted brother Tyler in our bed, the night before our wedding 5 years ago. I couldn't sleep because I was replaying that night on repeat, the one that forced me to start over from scratch. 5 years ago, Monica and I were supposed to get married on a Saturday in June. The venue was a restored barn outside Seattle. Deposit paid, $8,200. My charcoal suit hung in the hotel closet. Her dress was at her parents' house. Both families flying in. 140 guests total. We'd been together 4 years. High school sweethearts who made it through college, made it through getting real jobs, made it through all the usual relationship killers. I thought I knew her. I was staying at the Marriott downtown with 5 groomsmen the night before the wedding. Standard bachelor party, dinner at a steakhouse, drinks at a bar, poker back at the hotel. I was in bed by 11 because I wanted to be sharp for the ceremony. I was almost asleep when I remembered. The backup wedding band was still at our apartment. The jeweler had given us a spare. I'd left it in my nightstand drawer. No big deal. Just drive over, grab it, come back. I got dressed, left a note for my best man, and drove to our apartment. Let myself in with my key just before 1 in the morning. Lights were on. Living room and bedroom both. Figured Monica was up late with her bridesmaids doing last-minute prep. I walked through the living room. 2 wine glasses on the coffee table. Only 2. That was weird. Then I heard voices from the bedroom. Her voice. And a man's voice. But then I heard her laugh. Not her normal laugh. That breathy laugh I thought was just for me. I walked down the hallway. The bedroom door was cracked open. I pushed it wider. Monica was in our bed with Tyler, my adopted brother. Both of them naked. They weren't scrambling to cover up. When they saw me, they looked like they'd been expecting this. Tyler didn't even look embarrassed. He sat up slowly, arrogant as always. Monica pulled the sheet up and started crying, saying my name over and over. I just stood there processing. There were wine glasses on both nightstands. The bottle was on my dresser. They'd been drinking wine in my bed the night before my wedding. Something snapped. I crossed the room, grabbed Tyler by the arm, and yanked him out of the bed. He stumbled. I shoved him hard toward the wall. He hit the dresser. The corner caught his ribs, and he made this winded gasping sound. "Ryan, wait," he started. I hit him. One clean punch to the jaw. Straight shot. His head snapped sideways. He dropped, not unconscious, just down, holding his face. Monica screamed. Someone in the next apartment started pounding on the wall. I stepped back, breathing hard. Tyler was on the floor, blood starting to drip from his split lip. Monica was sobbing. "Ryan, please, let me explain." "Explain what?" My voice came out flat. "You've been sleeping with my brother, in our bed, the night before our wedding. What's there to explain?" "It's not like that." "It's exactly like that," I said. "How long?" She didn't answer. "How long, Monica?" 3 months, Tyler said from the... It's been 3 months. 3 months. While we were planning the wedding, while we were sending invitations, while her parents were making toasts about how perfect we were together. "Why?" I asked. "I never wanted to marry you," Monica said through sobs. "I wanted him. I've always wanted him." That sentence hit harder than any punch. The wedding was tomorrow. 140 people. Both our families. And she was telling me I was never supposed to be the groom. I turned to Tyler. He was standing now, still holding his jaw. "Get out," I said. "This is between you and Monica," he said. I said, "Get out." He looked at Monica. She didn't say anything. He grabbed his clothes and left. Monica was still crying. Someone was knocking on the apartment door now. Building security. I walked to my nightstand and grabbed the backup ring I'd come for. Then I opened the drawer on her side. Found the engagement ring I'd given her 2 years ago sitting in a ring dish. She'd taken it off for the night, before she slept with my brother. I picked it up. Platinum band with a 1-carat diamond. Cost me $7,400. "Ryan, that's mine," Monica said. "No," I said. "It's not. You don't get to keep it after what you did." I pocketed both rings and walked to the door. Opened it. Security guard standing there looking confused. "Everything okay here?" "No," I said. "But I'm leaving. They're all yours." I got in my car and drove. Didn't go back to the hotel. Just drove around for hours. Empty streets. Nobody around. Just me replaying what I'd seen. By 4 in the morning, I'd made my decisions. Sat in a diner parking lot and started making calls. Called the venue. Got their emergency line. Canceled the wedding. Told them to keep the $8,200 deposit. Opened my laptop. Connected to the diner's Wi-Fi. Sent a mass email to 140 people. "Weddings canceled. Sorry for the hassle. If you've got travel expenses, send me receipts." By 6, I was back at the hotel. Groomsmen still asleep. Packed my 2 suitcases. Left a note. Checked out. By 10, I was on I-5. South driving toward Portland. 4-hour drive. My college buddy Nathan had been begging me for months to move down there and start a business with him. I'd kept saying no because I had a life in Seattle. Had Monica. Had our future planned out. None of that existed anymore. My phone was exploding. Monica called 31 times. Tyler called 19 times. I ignored all of them. Then my dad called. I figured I owed him that much. "Ryan, what the hell is going on?" he said. "Monica's parents just called me. They said you canceled the wedding?" "Yeah," I said. "I canceled it." "Why?" "I walked in on Monica and Tyler last night," I said. "In our bed. So there's not going to be a wedding." Long silence. Then, "Son, I'm sure there's an explanation. Maybe you misunderstood." I didn't misunderstand anything. They admitted it's been going on for 3 months. "Tyler made a mistake," Dad said. "These things happen. You can't just..." "Are you serious right now?" "You're embarrassing the family," Dad said. His voice got harder. "People are asking questions. The guests are confused. We need to manage this. You can't just run away." That's when I understood. He wasn't worried about me. He was worried about how it looked, because Tyler was his adopted son from his second marriage after my mom died, and Tyler could do no wrong in his eyes. "I'm not managing anything," I said. "I'm done. With Monica. With Tyler. With all of it. Ryan, you need to come back." "No," I said. "I'm leaving Seattle. Don't contact me about this again." I hung up, turned my phone completely off, kept driving south. The first year in Portland was brutal. Nathan and I started a business together. Commercial coffee equipment for restaurants and hotels. The machines and systems, not running the actual place. When I showed up with 2 suitcases, Nathan was shocked. Wedding's off, I said. You still want to start that business? Yeah, but then let's do it. I've got 12,000 saved. How much do you have? About 11. We started in Nathan's garage with $23,000 between us. First client was Nathan's neighbor who owned a small restaurant. We made maybe $400 profit, but they told their friends. I was working 16-hour days because when I stopped, I started thinking. So I worked. 8 months in, we got our first real contract. A boutique hotel chain needed coffee systems for 6 locations. $67,000. That contract changed everything. We hired employees, moved into a warehouse, started manufacturing custom equipment. By year 3, we were on the Portland Business Journal's fastest growing companies list. Last year, I bought out Nathan's share for $215,000 when he wanted to step back. He stayed on as a consultant, expanded to 3 locations, 47 employees, $1.8 million in revenue. The business proved I could make it work, but I was lonely, dated occasionally, but never let anyone get close. Then I met Claire. It was 2 years ago. Not exactly a meet cute. One of my subcontractors screwed up an install at a high-end restaurant, used the wrong voltage on the espresso machine, fried the whole system. The restaurant sued everyone involved, including my company. Claire was representing the restaurant. She walked in and tore apart every defense my lawyer threw up. Took 3 hours. She stayed calm the whole time, which made it worse. By the end, I knew we were settling. Final number was $38,000. After we signed the paperwork, I asked her to dinner. She looked at me like I was insane and said no. 2 weeks later, I ran into her at a restaurant. Asked again. She said no again, but she smiled. Third time I asked was at a networking event. She laughed and said, "You don't give up, do you?" I'm persistent when something matters. Okay, she said, but only because you've been respectful about it. That first dinner lasted for 4 hours straight. By our third date, Claire asked directly, "So what made you move to Portland?" We were at her apartment. She'd cooked dinner. I told her everything. The night before the wedding, walking in on Monica and Tyler, the punch, my dad taking Tyler's side, building the business from nothing. Expected her to leave. Instead, she said, "Sounds like you made the right call. Some shit you can't fix. You just survive it. You don't think it's too much baggage?" "Everyone has baggage," she said. "Sounds like you handled it. You seem functional to me." Functional is generous. I still check locks 3 times before bed. That doesn't make you broken, just careful. That's when I knew. We've been together 2 years. She's seen me on the bad days. Never pushes me to talk or forgive. Just there. Steady. Not pushing. 3 months ago, I proposed. Took her to an overlook outside Portland. Got down on one knee. Asked her to marry me. She said yes before I finished the question. We planned a small wedding. About 50 people. Private estate venue. Good security. No family drama. Just us. Then Monica's burner text showed up. The messages didn't stop. Over the next 3 days, Monica sent 6 more texts from different burner numbers. I just need 5 minutes to explain. Tyler and I aren't together anymore. It didn't mean anything. Funny how it went from, "I've always wanted him" to, "It didn't mean anything." She was changing the story depending on what she needed. "You took the ring when you left. I need it back." That last one made me laugh. She wanted the ring back. Claire read through all the messages. She's building toward a demand. She thinks she's owed something. She's not getting anything from me. I know, but she doesn't know that yet. 2 days later, Monica called my office. My assistant Jenna answered. "I need to speak with Ryan. It's urgent. Can I ask what this is regarding?" "It's personal. Just tell him Monica called." Jenna came to my office. "Someone named Monica called for you. Said it was personal. If she calls again, don't put her through. Just take a message and throw it away." The next day, Monica showed up at my office. I was in a meeting when Jenna knocked. "There's a woman in the lobby. Her name's Monica. She says she needs to see you." I walked out to the lobby. Monica was sitting there nervous as hell but trying to look tough. "Ryan, thank you for seeing me." "I'm not seeing you," I said. "I'm asking you to leave. Just let me explain." "No, you need to leave my office. Now." "Ryan, please. I flew up here to talk to you. I didn't ask you to do that. I need closure. And I need the ring back. That ring was mine. You had no right to take it." There it was. The real reason. "The ring wasn't yours," I said. "You destroyed that when you slept with Tyler." "I paid for half the wedding," Monica said, voice getting louder. "That ring should be mine. The ring stays with me. Now leave before I call security." "You're making a mistake," Monica said, tears forming. "Claire doesn't know you like I do. You're rushing into this. You haven't dealt with what happened. You're still messed up from it. I need you to leave." Monica stared at me, then looked at Jenna. "You should know your boss stole from me. He took my engagement ring. I'm considering legal action." "You should leave now," Jenna said calmly, "or I'm calling security." Monica grabbed her purse and left. That evening, I told Claire, she came to your office demanding the ring? Yeah, and threatened legal action. 2 days later, Monica showed up at my house, demanded the ring again, threatened a police report. I refused. The ring was a conditional gift. We didn't get married. It's mine. Now get off my property. You've changed. When your perfect wedding falls apart, you're going to wish you'd been kinder. I closed the door, called Claire. She was at the house. I'm drafting a cease and desist tonight. She came home and spent 2 hours on it. Had it couriered to Monica the next morning. That night, Monica showed up at Nathan's office. He'd stayed on as a consultant and was working late when she walked in. I'm looking for Ryan. He's not here, Nathan said. He knew the whole story. Can you give him a message? No. Please, I'm worried about him. I think he's rushing into this wedding. Nathan stood up. You need to leave now, or I'm calling security. Monica left, but Nathan called me immediately. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. 4 days before the wedding, my dad called. We hadn't spoken in 5 years. Not since he'd taken Tyler's side. So when his name appeared on my caller ID, I almost didn't answer. But Claire was next to me. Ryan, he said when I picked up. His voice sounded tired. Tyler told me you're getting married this weekend. I didn't answer, just waited. I think we should talk, face to face, man to man. Clear the air. There's nothing to clear. Son, I know things ended badly, but you're still my son. Let's talk. Just coffee. Tomorrow afternoon. That place on Morrison you used to like. He sounded like he'd practiced this. Why now? I asked. Because family matters. And because I've been thinking about what happened. I want to make things right. Claire mouthed, trap. Fine, I said. Tomorrow at 2. But if this is an ambush, I'm walking out. It's just coffee, I promise. I hung up. You know he's lying, right? Claire said. Yeah, but I want to see what he's actually after. The next afternoon, I drove to the coffee shop on Morrison Street. Walked in at 2 exactly. Saw my dad at a corner table. And sitting next to him was Tyler. Should have seen that coming. I almost left, but something in me wanted to hear this. I walked over and sat down. Didn't order anything. Ryan, Dad said, thanks for coming. You said it was just you. Tyler wanted to be here. We both want to talk. Tyler looked different. Thinner, older. His suit looked cheap. So talk, I said. Dad cleared his throat. Look, there's been tension in the family, but we're still family. That has to count for something. I've been thinking about what happened 5 years ago. I didn't handle it well. It was a difficult situation for everyone. Difficult situation, I repeated. That's what you're calling it. I'm calling it a mistake, Dad said. One that Tyler regrets. One we need to move past. There is no family. Not anymore. Tyler spoke. Ryan, I know what I did was wrong. I've lived with that guilt for 5 years, but I've grown. I've changed. And I think we can move forward if you're willing. Move forward how? Tyler glanced at Dad. I'm working on a restaurant tech startup, Tyler said. It's got real potential, but I need capital and connections in the hospitality industry. Dad mentioned you're doing well. I was hoping we could partner. You invest, I execute, we split the profits. And it would give us a chance to rebuild our relationship. There it was. How much? I asked. $80,000 to start, Tyler said, with a path to VP of operations in your company for credibility while I'm building the startup. I looked at my dad. And you're backing this pitch? I think it's a good opportunity, Dad said. Tyler has the vision, you have the capital. It makes sense, and it would bring the family together. Family, I said. Right. I stood up. Ryan, wait, Dad started. No, I'm not doing this. You don't get to blow up my life, take his side, cut me off, and then show up 5 years later asking for money. It's not charity, Tyler said, voice getting sharper. It's a business opportunity. I don't want your equity. I don't want your partnership. I don't want anything from either of you. You're being unreasonable, Dad said, standing too. We're trying to make peace here. No, you're not. You're trying to collect. You saw I'm successful, and you want a piece of it. The coffee shop had gone quiet. Tyler stood. His face was red. You think you're better than us now? You think because you have money you can cut us out? Dad chose me 5 years ago. He always does. You were always the backup. There it was. I didn't cut you out, I said. You burned the bridge, both of you. I'm just refusing to build a new one. I turned to leave. That's when Claire walked in. She'd been waiting in the car. She walked straight up to our table. We done here? She asked. Yeah, we're done. Claire looked at my dad. You didn't come here as family. You came to collect. He doesn't owe you access. He doesn't owe you money. He doesn't owe you anything. Don't contact him again. Then she looked at Tyler. And you. If you show up at our wedding, you'll be arrested for trespassing. We've already filed the paperwork. Security has your photo. Test us if you want. We walked out together. In the car, Claire said, "Feel better?" "Yeah. Now I know exactly what they wanted. Makes what happens next easier." "What happens next?" "They're going to show up anyway. They just proved they think they're entitled to access." "Good," Claire said. "Then we'll be ready." 2 days before the wedding, I got a follow-up email from Tyler. "You're making a mistake. We're family. You'll regret cutting us out." I forwarded it to Claire without responding. She replied, adding it to the file. The wedding was at a private estate outside the city. Small venue, controlled access, strict guest list. The owner was a former client who'd become a friend. He knew the situation and had offered to help with security. We gave security a list of names who were explicitly banned. Monica, Tyler, my dad. We included photos. Told them if any of these people showed up, deny entry immediately and call police if they refused to leave. Our attorney had also drawn up trespass notices in advance. "This feels excessive," I said the night before the wedding. "It's not," Claire said. "These people think they're entitled to access. They're going to test us. We're ready." She was right. The wedding was scheduled for 3 in the afternoon on Saturday. I was inside the estate with my groomsmen getting ready, adjusting ties, putting on boutonnieres, when my phone buzzed at 10 after 2. Text from Robert, the security coordinator and estate owner. "Your father just arrived at the main gate. He's demanding entry. Currently being denied." I called Claire immediately. "My dad's here," I said. "At the gate." "Stay inside," she said, voice firm. "Don't go out there. Don't engage. Let security handle it exactly as we planned." "No," I said. Silence. "What do you mean, no?" she asked. "I mean I'm not letting them turn my wedding into a theater show where I hide backstage," I said. "I'm coming down. I'm not touching anyone. I'm not arguing. I'm ending it." Claire exhaled once, controlled, annoyed, but not surprised. "Fine," she said. "Then you follow rules. You stay behind security. One statement. No back and forth. You do not let them bait you." "I won't," I said. "I'll bury them with a sentence and walk away." I hung up and looked at Eric. "We're going to the gate," I said. Eric grinned like he'd been waiting for permission. "Yeah, let's do it." Robert met us inside the front corridor, with 2 guards already moving into position. He took one look at my face. "You sure?" he asked. "I've never been more sure," I said. "Let's go." We walked down toward the entrance like we owned the ground under our feet. Because we did. Security spread out in front of us. Clean formation, calm posture. No chaos, no panic, just control. My dad was already at the gate in an expensive suit, performing entitlement like it was a job title. "This is ridiculous," he was saying. "I'm his father. Open the gate." "You're on the do not admit list, sir," Marcus said evenly. Then Tyler's car rolled in behind him, half blocking the lane like he thought traffic laws were optional when his ego showed up. Tyler got out yelling before his door even closed. "I'm the groom's brother. Open the gate." "You're also on the do not admit list," the second guard said. Tyler laughed, loud and stupid. "That's pathetic. Ryan owes me. I helped raise him. This is family business." That's when I stepped into view behind the security line. Not rushing, not dramatic, just present. Tyler saw me and smiled like he'd won something. My dad turned fast, switching faces instantly, trying to look like a proud father instead of a man trying to force entry. "Ryan," he said, warm voice, public-facing voice. "Son, come on. Don't do this. It's your wedding day." I looked at him like he was a stranger trying to use an old nickname. "You're not here as my father," I said. Calm, loud enough to carry. "You're here to be seen as my father?" Big difference. His smile tightened. "Ryan," he said again, like repetition makes it true. "Let's not do this in front of..." "In front of who?" I cut in. "The guards you're trying to bully? The cops you're about to meet? Or the family you only remember exists when there's an audience?" Tyler grabbed the gate bars. "Bro, stop acting." "Don't call me that," I said, still calm. "You lost the right to that word in my bedroom." Tyler's face twitched. My dad took another step toward the gate. "We can talk for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, that's all." "No," I said. "You're not getting 5 minutes. You're getting a boundary. This gate is your closure." Then Claire stepped up beside me. Wedding dress perfect. Expression sharper than a blade. Robert at her shoulder. She didn't speak yet. She didn't need to. She just stood there like a stamped document. My dad tried to pivot to her. "Claire," he said smoothly. "There seems to be a misunderstanding. I just want to see my son on his wedding day." Claire's eyes didn't. Mine did. "There's no misunderstanding," I said. "You were told not to come. You came anyway. That's not love. That's entitlement." Tyler scoffed. "You really going to let her run your life like this?" I stared at him for one beat. Then I said, "My life doesn't have room for a man who sleeps with brides and then asks for a paycheck." That landed. Tyler's jaw flexed. My dad's face went hard. "You think you're better than us now," Tyler snapped. "I don't think it," I said. I built proof. Tyler pointed at the gate like it was personal. Open it. We're family. You want family? I said. Try not betraying it. Start there. Then Monica's car pulled up. She parked on the grass because Tyler had blocked the drive. Of course he did. Monica got out in a cocktail dress and immediate tears, loud and theatrical. Ryan, she shouted toward the property. Ryan, please, I just need to talk to you. Claire finally turned her head. You were served a cease and desist letter 4 days ago, Claire said, crisp. You signed for it. You were warned. The police are already on their way. Monica ignored her and locked onto me like Claire wasn't even there. Ryan, she cried, I just need closure, and I need my ring back. You can't keep my ring. I didn't raise my voice. Monica, I said, and it cut through her sobbing like a knife. Your closure happened 5 years ago, in my bed, with my brother. The door is closed, the gate is locked. That's the ending. Her face twisted. That ring was mine? No, I said. It was a symbol. You pawned the meaning the night you climbed into my sheets with him. Tyler snarled. This is insane. No, I said, turning my eyes to him. What's insane is you standing there, after what you did, still thinking you're owed anything except consequences. Monica tried again, desperate now. I'm struggling. You need to stop showing up where you're not wanted, I said. You want money? Get it from the man you always wanted. That one hit her hard. Her mouth opened, then shut. Tyler's face went red hot. He grabbed the gate bars again like he could bend reality with his hands. Move, he said to the guards. And then he tried to climb. He actually tried to force his way over the gate. Marcus and the second guard yanked him down. Tyler shoved Marcus hard in the chest. Major mistake. Sirens rolled in not long after, close enough that Tyler's little stunt looked even dumber in real time. 2 Portland police patrol cars arrived within minutes. 4 officers total. Robert spoke with them first, then handed over the paperwork. Do not admit list with photos, written trespass notices, cease and desist, and the message threats. Then the officers approached. My dad took one look at uniforms and documentation and did what he always does. Protected his image. He didn't apologize. He didn't argue. He just got in his car and left quietly, like he'd never been there. Tyler wasn't smart enough for that. He argued. He postured. He tried the family line again. The officers warned him twice. On the 3rd escalation, they cuffed him. Tyler was cited for criminal trespass in the 2nd degree, disorderly conduct, and interfering with an officer. They walked him to the patrol car and loaded him into the back seat. Monica tried to plead. I just wanted to talk, she said, crying softer now. I'm not a criminal. The officers cited her for criminal trespass and told her to leave immediately or she'd be arrested too. She left, got in her car, and drove away. The whole incident from start to finish took 27 minutes. When it was done, I didn't feel shaken. I felt clean. I turned away from the gate before any of them could say one more word. Claire walked beside me, Eric and Robert behind us. Back in the groom's suite, Claire looked at my face like she was verifying something. You got what you needed? She asked. Yeah, I said. They heard me. That's the end. Claire nodded once. It's handled, she said. They're gone. Security is resetting the entrance. We're getting married in 23 minutes exactly as planned. I straightened my jacket, smirked once. Perfect, I said. Let's get married. The ceremony went off perfectly. We got married exactly on time at 3 o'clock. About 50 people there, all of them people who actually supported us and wanted to be there. No drama after the gate incident, no chaos, just us making a choice to build a life together. During our first dance, Claire whispered to me, no regrets about anything today? None, I said honestly. 3 days after the wedding, while Claire and I were packing for our honeymoon, our attorney filed restraining order petitions against both Monica and Tyler. Claire had everything organized. Police reports from the wedding crash, the office and home confrontations, the cease and desist violation, the threatening messages, and security footage. The judge granted temporary emergency orders immediately. Neither of them showed up to the scheduled hearing, so the orders became final 3-year stay away and no contact orders by default, 500 feet minimum distance, 0 communication allowed, and any violation means arrest. Tyler got served at work in front of his boss and co-workers and was fired the same afternoon. Monica was served at the retail store where she works, equally public and humiliating. My dad received permanent trespass paperwork from the estate, barring him from the property. Through my cousin, I heard the fallout. Tyler's fiancée dumped him within a week after seeing the real police reports and restraining order details. She packed up and disappeared while he was at work, blocked him everywhere, and left him to deal with the mess he created. He lost his job. Then he lost his apartment because he couldn't afford rent without his fiancée's income. Last I heard through my cousin, he moved 2 states away to Arizona to stay with a friend and start over. Monica moved back to her hometown 2 hours south, working retail at a department store, deleted all her social media accounts after the restraining order became public through court records. Her reputation in her hometown is apparently destroyed. People talk. My dad sent a card 2 weeks after the wedding. Standard congratulations card from a grocery store. Just said, "Congratulations on your marriage," with his signature. No apology. No acknowledgement of what had happened. I threw it in the trash without reading beyond the signature. My cousin Jennifer called me a month later with information I'd suspected, but never proven. "I need to tell you something," Jennifer said. "About your dad. About what happened 5 years ago." "Say it." A beat of silence. "Dad knew," she said, "before your wedding. He knew about Monica and Tyler." I felt something click into place, clean and ugly. "Of course he did," I said. "Ryan." "No," I cut in. "Tell me exactly what he knew." Jennifer swallowed. "Tyler told him about a week before your wedding. He went to Dad for advice. Said he'd been sleeping with your fiancée, but didn't know how to end it without causing a scene. Dad told him to be discreet and figure it out quietly after the wedding. He told Tyler to let the wedding happen and deal with it later." I let that sit for a moment, like a verdict. "So he didn't just pick Tyler after the fact," I said. "He covered for him before it blew up. He was fine letting me walk down an aisle into a lie." "Yeah," Jennifer said quietly. "He chose Tyler before you even knew there was a choice to make. I'm sorry. I thought you deserved to know." "Thanks," I said. "Now I know what he is." When we hung up, it wasn't grief I felt. It was clarity. My dad hadn't just taken Tyler's side after I caught them. He'd been an accomplice. He'd watched me plan a wedding, spend money, invite family, build a future, while knowing exactly what Tyler and Monica were doing behind my back. That wasn't a mistake. That was a decision. And it told me everything I needed to know about who he'd always been. Too little, too late for him to fix any of it now. Claire and I got back from our honeymoon in Costa Rica last week. Life's good. Business is growing faster than expected. We're in negotiations for a major contract with a national hotel chain. We're talking seriously about buying a bigger house in the West Hills, with room for kids eventually. Last week, I got a message from yet another burner number. Just 3 words. "I'm sorry, Ryan." After 5 years of silence, after the wedding crash, after restraining orders and criminal citations, Monica was still trying to reach through the boundary, like it didn't apply to her. I screenshotted it and sent it to Claire with one line. "She's at it again." Claire forwarded it to our attorney within minutes with a formal note. "Potential restraining order violation via proxy contact. Document for case file. Prepare violation motion if pattern continues. Recommend immediate response." Then she texted me. "Send me the number. I'm blocking it too. Do not respond. Do not engage. We handle this through legal channels." Our attorney sent Monica's attorney a formal warning letter that same day. Any further attempts at contact, burner phones, third parties, social media, email, anything, would be treated as willful violation of the restraining order and would trigger criminal contempt proceedings and potential jail time. I didn't respond. I didn't entertain it. I didn't give her a single pixel of access. I let the system do what it was built to do. The attorney also sent copies of the violation attempt to the court and the Portland police for documentation. If she tries it again, we file the violation, and she stops getting warnings and starts getting consequences. Claire and I have moved on. We're finalizing that national hotel chain contract next week, 300 locations. Biggest deal in company history. We're also closing on a house in the West Hills next month. 4 bedrooms, room for kids eventually. They tried to ruin my wedding. They failed. And if they try again, they won't get a conversation. They'll get handcuffs. That's it. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.